Happy New Year's. My last video did surprisingly well, so I'm here with a video I've wanted to make for a while now. I wanted this video to release on New Year's, but at the time of finishing the script, that's only 4 days away, so we'll see if I can make the deadline. Today I'm focusing on my favourite band ever, with some of the best songs and best albums. Here are my top 10 Pink Floyd songs.
It's awfully considerate of you to think of me here.
Early Pink Floyd is often underrepresented. Astronomy Domain and See Emily Play are fan favourites, and while both are great, in my opinion, the swan song for Syd Barrett's Jug Band Blues is their best song prior to Meddle. This is a short masterpiece where Syd Barrett basically says goodbye to the audience and to his band members. The closer of their second album, A Saucer Full of Secrets, the opening lyrics, "It's awfully considerate of you to think of me here."
It's awfully considerate of you to think of me here.
And I'm most obliged to you for making it clear that I'm not here.
And I'm most obliged to you for making it clear that I'm not here.
Is a reference to the fact that Syd knew he was on his way out, and he was happy that people were considerate of his condition at the time. "I don't care if the sun don't shine, and I don't care if nothing is mine" suggests that he's ready to leave the material world behind. His time in the band is over, and this song was the end of his Pink Floyd. Upon the release of The Dark Side of the Moon, only one single was published, Money, though Us and Them was also released a year later. Money held the album to a spot of one of the best-selling albums of all time. The song talking about issues ended up being one of the reasons they broke up just a decade later. It's kind of ironic. Money, so they say, is the root of all evil today. It is. This song uses a unique 7/8 time signature, which is very rare in music but works amazingly in this timeless classic. Well, speaking of timeless, when I first listened to Dark Side of the Moon in early 2022, Time stood out to me as my favourite track, and quickly rose to my most played Pink Floyd song. While it no longer holds the rank, the overrated Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 does, Time is a classic. A song is a story of life, taking away the moments that make up a dull day, fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way. This opening line asks a question. How often do you spend a whole day doing nothing? Whether it's sitting in your house or sleeping. These dull days don't have to be so dull, yet people let them be that way. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. You have your whole life ahead of you, tens of thousands of days to live your life. What's wrong with a dull day every once in a while? And then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. After missing so many days of your life, you realise it's going too fast and you can't slow it down. You've missed so much because you didn't know what you wanted. There's no one told you what to do. The song is one of the best songs in their discography. Definitely a 5 out of 5 song. So You Think You Can Tell, Heaven from Hell. Their second most streamed song according to Spotify is a masterpiece. The titular track from Wish You Were Here isn't the best song from the album, but is still a top 10 Pink Floyd song, which shows truly how good this album is. Wish You Were Here is an acoustic masterpiece with some of the band's best lyrics. While the song isn't a direct tribute to Syd Barrett, unlike Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Wish You Were Here makes a lot of references to him. The opening verse goes, "So you think you can tell, heaven from hell, blue skies from pain, can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail?" This is a reference to being addicted to something. They often think they know better, they can tell the difference is better, even when it's not true. Wish You Were Here is an acoustic masterpiece, which will be remembered as one of Pink Floyd's best songs. But I personally think there are 6 songs even better. When Pink Floyd released The Dark Side of the Moon in 1973, Only one single was released upon its launch, Money. But after one listen to the album, Money wasn't my favourite. Time was. But that has altered in recent time as Brain Damage has taken that spot. Another song about Syd Barrett in one way or another. Brain Damage starts the end for Dark Side of the Moon. The lunatic is on the grass. The lunatic is on the grass. Represents people breaking even the slightest of rules. People going off paths onto grass, even when signs explicitly say you're not allowed to. You raise the blade, you make the change, is a reference to frontal lobotomies. Brain Damage is underappreciated in my opinion. It joins Eclipse as one continuous song, which is a perfect ending to a perfect album, and in my opinion, it's the best individual song on one of the best albums ever made. The story of an artist slowly losing himself is beautiful. After Dark Side of the Moon launched Pink Floyd to superstardom, Wish You Were Here and Animals followed, increasing their popularity way more. Then Pink Floyd released a concept album, the best-selling double album in history, The Wall. It follows a story of Pink going through his life from his father's death in the Second World War to him going through a mental break and tearing down his emotional wall. But 3/4 of the way through the album, we get the centerpiece of The Wall, Comfortably Numb. The movie makes it more obvious to what this song is about. It shows Pink completely out of it in a chair while his manager and doctors try to revive him ready for his show. This song has a full story to it, unlike their other songs like Time or Money, which is just a basic premise put into an entire song. Comfortably Numb is one of the most recognisable Pink Floyd songs, and it is for a good reason. After Wish You Were Here was released in 1975, Pink Floyd changed their style a tad, and went to a more heavier style, but still with their iconic guitar and synthesizer work. The main piece from their 1977 album Animals is Dogs, and the remix in 2018 made it even better. The whole album of Animals with 5 songs is a reference to Animal Farm by George Orwell, a story of politics and power and division as a whole. Dogs is the 17-minute masterpiece and main point in the album, with amazing lyrics. You've got to be trusted by the people that you lie to, so that when they turn their backs on you, you'll get a chance to put the knife in. The song shows how cruel the divide between the working man and the employer is, and the song shines through imagery of a dog-eats-dog world. Weirdly though, it's not even my favourite song on the album. I never loved this song. Whenever I listened to Animals, I thought it was a really good song, but that would be the only time I actually listened to it. It wasn't due to the 11-minute length, I just never clicked with it. I always preferred Dogs. And then on October 28th, 2022, I went to see the Australian Pink Floyd show. This was the only song from Animals that they played, and it was the best performance of the night. It made me absolutely adore this song. That brilliant riff. Great voice filters. No actual chorus, just a refrain. You're nearly a laugh, you're nearly a laugh, but you're really a cry. The political album Animals has stayed valid in the 40 years since it released. Hey You, White House, Charade You Are. This is perhaps their most political song, and is personally better than Dogs. Anyone who actually knows me personally may be confused over the placement of Echoes on this list. After all, it's number 2 on this list. That's weird for me, considering it's my favourite song of all time. But even though it is my favourite, I personally think one song is objectively better. The first song of Pink Floyd's modern music, Meddle, released in 1971. One of These Days is a masterpiece. Fearless, Pillow of Winds and Saint-Tropez are really good. Seamus is terrible, but the entire second half of the album is taken up with the near 24-minute masterpiece, Echoes. This was the second Pink Floyd song I remember knowing, of course behind Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. This song is 100 out of 100. I don't quite know what to say about it, to be honest, so I'm not going to linger too long, but if you haven't listened to Echoes, go ahead and chuck it on. Actually, chuck on the full album Meddle, and just have yourself a hell of a time. That haunting chord, Sid's chord. Wish You Were Here, the album, opens and closes with Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Technically it's 2 songs, and I'm counting it as 2 songs. The opening, parts 1 through 5, makes up the most beautiful song ever created. A glorious tribute to the former frontman of Pink Floyd, the man who chose the name, the man who made them known, Syd Barrett. The first half clocks in at 13 minutes, and of that 13 minutes, the first 8 are a classic instrumental piece. This song is seen as the masterpiece from that album, and while more people know Wish You Were Here itself, more Pink Floyd fans prefer Shine On You Crazy Diamond. When I went to see the Australian Pink Floyd show, this was the first song that they performed. And once it was over and before they put on Learning to Fly, tears were in my eyes, and the beauty of this song was heard by all in there. And even though Echoes is my favourite song, I agree that Shine On You Crazy Diamond is objectively better and the greatest song ever made. Now I'm realising that this video is a lot shorter than I planned it to be when I wrote the script. My top 5 album video has somehow done amazingly. At the time it's writing, it's nearing the 500 view marks. I was happy when it stalled at 32 views. So thank you to everyone. As always, I've been Jaden. If you have any video ideas, then comment them down below. My next video is planned to be on the 15th of January, as it marks my 1-year anniversary of my first video. I plan to make the second episode of my summary and review series, which I started all the way back on February 7th. I will summarise and review my favourite movie, Your Name. Goodbye and good night. Bang.